What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Madden 15 video PS4. Please take a moment, like button, subscribe button, criticism in the comment section. As always, Twitter, shutdown safety is my username. Normally, I just give you one breakdown. Today I want to go through the beginning of this series from the second quarter of the Colts-Jaguars game here, and a lot of issues when we talk about AI, and a lot of things that happen not only offensively but defensively. Playing this for you at speed, just taking a look at what occurs here, I think it's important to understand we're talking about a red zone offense, red zone defense, 3 wide receiver set, even though Mercedes Lewis is technically a tight end. To me, whether we're talking about a quarterback that's a rookie or a veteran, there has to be some fundamental understanding. You've got a halfback in here to block Robert Mathis, and that has to accelerate the clock in terms of pressure being generated. And when Robert Mathis is not going to get held up nearly as much when we talk about a halfback against maybe a tight end or a lineman, the quarterback in the game should understand that and accelerate that play clock like we talked about it. When we come over here, we take a look at Bortles. He's got wide open field on the right side of him. I don't understand why he's not throwing this ball away when the pressure comes in. Instead, he's actually going to do the worst thing you could do, which is force a pass right into the pressure. And the reason you don't see this happen in real life is, number one, this pass could easily be misconstrued as a fumble. It's released kind of clumsily at the top of the throwing motion. But number two, no quarterback is going to want to sit here and risk injury by being driven down into the ground on their throwing arm, and that's exactly what happens here. So when we go forward and we take a look at these other consecutive sacks, to me it shows the game doesn't have an understanding of what's going on. Not only that we're in the red zone, but you can't continue to risk this. I mean, initially you got lucky with that being an incomplete pass and not a fumble, so when I go to the next play, the pressure develops quickly again, the quarterback takes a sack. Why is this happening? Not only why is the defense not blocking Robert Mathis, but why is there not assisted tackles here? Assisted sacks. Mathis comes in, kind of pressures the quarterback. Here Walden comes in to kind of assist. And again, I understand it's a video game, but from a real life perspective, the quarterback's not holding the ball securely. He's getting driven down into the ground on his throwing shoulder. Why does he not turtle up like we've seen so many quarterbacks do? Protect the ball, protect your field position, protect yourself. Get down into the ground when you've got 2 defensive players coming toward you. It's a very common occurrence. Finally, now we talk about being taken out of field goal range. Now keep in mind, keeping with continuity of the series, you've had an incomplete pass that could have been fumbled. You just got sacked. Now you're risking field goal position if you get sacked again. Shouldn't the priority be to get rid of the ball if nothing's there safely? Instead, we start to scramble around in the pocket, get sacked by a defensive tackle. To me, again, when we start talking about the players involved here, I understand some people are going to question, well, it's a rookie quarterback. Is he going to make these decisions? In my opinion, yes. It's taught at a fundamental level, from high school to Pop Warner to JV to college. You don't make these type of errors. Offensive line issues here as well. Corey Redding comes in, great push. Tell me where this is taught. Any form of football. Why in the world would you get behind the player you're trying to block? Not only are you working against your teammate, but you're also really setting your teammate up for a holding call here. I mean, this is just not something you see in real football. Obviously, you've got a situation where Redding's able to kind of shift through all this, pressure the quarterback, and again, wide open field for Bortles to throw this pass away. Instead, he elects not to. From a defensive perspective, it bothers me that Corey Redding is not able to come over here because there's no animation for a strip sack right now, which is exactly what would happen in real life. We've got Bortles' ball out away from his chest. Instead of having a strip sack animation, which we've seen hinder the best quarterbacks in the league, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning fell victim to this with Robert Mathis, as a matter of fact, last year. Instead, Bortles is still just looking downfield, tries to throw the ball there, you see, but then kind of gets tripped up and thrown down into the ground. And again, when we go back and we look at the culmination of all these efforts, we've got a situation now that's 4th and 30 rather than a field goal you're punting. So to me, I just don't understand where this game goes sometimes with some of its decision making. Love to know your guys' opinions on this. Appreciate you checking out the video. I'll be back in the week with more content.